Perfect. All right. So let's switch the conversation a bit from wholesaling, which is something you've done for well over a decade, but now talk about virtual assistants and agencies and the workforce that exists in Venezuela from all places that can offer their brain power to Americans. Because as you said, they're on an intermittent fast by force. So I'm sure that you're gonna get great value for the knowledge and experience and expertise from Venezuela, where somebody can jump on a computer and really let their mind flow and learn online. There's so many learning platforms, so I'm sure there's a lot of people there. So talk to us about your agency. Talk to us about what is it that you do, and what is there a particular niche that you offer services in? So give us a quick understanding there.
That's a great question. So I'm going to start with how it started, right? In 2021, 22, when the market was ramping up and I had a huge wholesaling operation, we were doing 30 agreements a month easily. I got to about 100 employees in Venezuela. So they were all virtual and they were all working in my operation. But at the same time, I was coaching and mentoring new wholesalers and investors in coming into the industry. And most of them had experience already. I focus more on the experienced guys more than the inexperienced. They were looking on ways on how to scale rather than learn how to do the business, right? So after my coaching was done and over with, they will say, Ricardo, this is beautiful, but I need some of your guys, because that's part of your success. And at the time I was like, I don't know. I train those guys. Those are my guys. You got to go find yours and train yours. And they're like, well, but why don't you just lease one to me? And I'm like, I don't know anything about that business, you know? So little did I know I had a VA company on my hands that I didn't know I had. And that's how it all started. So I started quarterbacking a lot of the people that I had on my team to my students and then to other clients. And basically today they're still running, the real estate business with my people. So what we become is we become your team. We call, we negotiate, we send messages, we set appointments, we receive pictures, we send contracts, agreements. But then some of my influencer friends that are in the space recording podcasts and things like that, they realized my videos were good, the quality of the video was good, that I had more views than they did. And they're like, how are you doing this? And I said, well, I have a production team that handles my videos and they do all of that. And they're all in my office over there. So they're like, well, can you do mine? So it kind of like, it's being organically growing. So today we do 90% is real estate, although we're branching out from the real estate industry because doctors and attorneys and plumbers and other people need these services. If you're out there on social media, you need a media team, and if you're lead generating new clients, you need people to help you to do that with. So in a way, what we are is in the lead generation business as well as the video production business now, and we also do real estate events. So that's basically our main offers today are real estate cold callers, lead managers, negotiators, and then the other side is shifting towards media production.
Quick question for you. You talked about conferences. Explain that. What do you guys do within that space?
Yeah, so I started doing real estate conferences in 2019. The first one was called Wholesaling Live, which was how to scale a wholesaling operation to multiple deals a month, right? And that's where we had the likes of Pace and Jamil, and they were just getting started in this whole business. I don't know if you guys know them, but they're amazing people. They have huge they have the biggest communities in the United States when it comes to students and programs. And so we had a bunch of great people come from Phoenix, Arizona, Texas, and other areas of the country. And that's kind of like how it took off, and then I had partners on that event and we went separate ways, but I kind of like the event production, the vibe on the stage, the creating stories, sharing testimonials, the energy. And I said, you know what, I'm going to do my own conference. So I set up my first conference to be in March 2020. We all remember what happened then. So I had to cancel that and literally wait until roughly, I think it was October 2020 when we did the first one. And it was a mastermind at the beginning. We even brought Brad Lee as one of our keynote speakers. He did an amazing job. He was there with us for 3 days. We had probably about 100 people only because it was a high ticket. It was very expensive to get in that room. And then at that time, one of the guys tells me, Ricardo, this is beautiful, amazing, a great stage. Bradley, all of us. Why don't you open this up to other people? And I said, what do you mean? And I said, well, why don't you open it up to like a different, like a small, like an audience that's not as advanced as we are, so they can learn and level up with us. And I kept on thinking, I was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I just don't know that that's what I want, So I meditated and prayed on it. And one day I said, you know what? I'm going to, Vic is the one that actually suggested that. I said, Victor, I'm going to do it. But I want to do it from a place of growth. And that's how Attend Growth started. And